Hey guys, welcome. Welcome aboard if you're new. Welcome back if you're not. Welcome home if that's how this channel hits for you. So today I am doing something completely different, something I have never done on this channel. I have had many requests for a pick a card reading, and so I'm going to do that today. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So if you don't know what a pick a card reading is, what that means is that we're going to choose from 3 different piles. We're going to create 3 basically mini readings, and we're going to call it energy for the next 10 days, right? You can interpret that however you'd like. That's absolutely fine. If you are watching this on the 14th of June, 2023, that's fine. If you're not, whenever you catch this reading, assume that this energy and messaging is timeless. And so take 10 days out from whenever you happen to catch this. I will put down 3 different oracle cards, and then I'm going to put different crystals out on them, and you can choose whichever one you are most drawn to, and consider that the overarching energy for you, and we'll see how it goes. This is always for fun and insight, and if the messages do not resonate with you, that is absolutely okay. No general reading can ever be for anyone, so if the message hits, beautiful, and if it does not hit, equally beautiful. So I'd like you to take just a moment. I have a rose quartz heart here as a crystal for this particular card. I have a fluorite, I don't know what that's called, chunk. It's beautiful though, and an amethyst point. So take just a second and just follow your first instinct. And here's the key: whatever you feel the most drawn to, whatever feels the best or most correct for you is the best. If you want to listen to more than one, you absolutely may. If you want to listen to all 3, you absolutely can do that as well, assuming that there may be messages in all of them for you. And I am not a person who asks for likes or comments or anything, but I would be interested to know how this sits and resonates for you. So if you don't mind, let me know if you enjoy this, and if you do, I will do some more. Let's get at it, right? Let's see how we sit with group number 1. And group number 1's beautiful card is 7th house. Okay. So 7th house is generally, it's all about relationships. And the key here is that 7th house as a relationship ruler is not just about love and romance relationships, right? This is how you structure your journey of self with what you interpret to be the other. And as such, that means your family, your mom, your dad, your brothers and sisters, your children, in addition to your partner or your lover. It is your mailman. It is the person who lives in the house or building next to you. It is, it's the person you see every morning at the coffee shop. It's the person in the cubicle next to you. Every relationship is ruled by the 7th house, which is actually quite lovely. Hello, if you ask me, as a Libra. So let's start here. We have the Hierophant, which is always a lovely energy, right? Always a lovely energy. Oh, hello. Queen of Wands. And I'm just going to, I think, pull. Let's start with 3 and see where we go from. Okay, thank you. 3 and see where we go from there. So we have the Hierophant, the Queen of Wands, and the Chariot. Now here's the thing. The Hierophant is a very restrained energy, right? This is how things are passed down to you, right? So this is what we do, this is how we think, this is how we behave. Queen of Wands is very opposite of that energy. This is how we feel, how we act on impulse, how we follow our heart and our passions, right? So this is a more self-driven, this is a more traditional kind of energy. And then the Chariot kind of balances out those two, right? This is love and logic, this is head and heart. The Chariot is always about balanced forward motion. And so if you're steering your Chariot and you give too much play to one side, you're going to veer off in one direction as opposed to really following your true path, whatever that may be for you. And in the path of relationship, let's stop and wonder how and where we are making choices, right, to follow one way or the other. Are we giving too much leeway to one party, or are we perhaps choosing our own path over the path of the relationship, right? And you know, in every relationship, we really end up with 1 + 1 makes 3, right? Because we have ourselves, the entity with whom we are in relationship, and then the relationship itself. And that's a very 7th house way to look at things, simply because there's always that wider breadth and depth, to what we're available to and what we're available for. And so if we're really choosing to be in discernment, right, of which way we're going, you know, just because you were born into a family that perhaps is arguers or yellers or deals with conflict in an avoidant kind of way, if that doesn't feel good to you, you get to pick. So to have the Magician under here, right, the Magician is that elemental force energy, right? This is manifesting as you will. And so that Magician understands that no matter what tradition is bringing into the mix, there's always a way to manifest something new. There's always a way to right that course, to correct what might not feel appropriate or what might not feel like it's leading you in the correct fashion. So the Magician demands that you create from your own experience and not just rely on history or tradition or what has been. What I love the most about the Hierophant is the keys, right? And so the keys really offer us insight into what the Hierophant is about, because the key is that you're the key, right? The way that you are in action, the way that you are in decision. And the Queen of Wands is all about that, right? She's definitely, hello, definitely the leading edge of will and the leading edge of inspiration and the leading edge of action, right? It's following your heart instead of following a prescription, and that's how we manifest. So here we have also, coupled with the Magician, we have the Four of Wands. And this is a beautiful echo here, because the Four of Wands is that card of balance, that card of harmony as a wider unit, right? So this is how we experience bliss, right? We, 7th house. This is how we experience joy, how we experience the fruits of our manifestations. And so the way that oh yeah, see, there we go. The balance of all of these options here, right? What is prescribed versus what is my will, how I choose to interact or express, how I choose to assert my will, how I choose to manifest, and what I'm creating for the relationship in the broader context, brings me to that sense of long-term goals, long-term planning, right? 3 of Wands is that card of adventure, and the way that we follow our heart and create what is brilliant and what is hours sense of where you're going in that relationship, right? Your shared goals are critical. And so make sure that you're balancing that out, especially for the next 10 days, right? Good luck, pile number 1. Alrighty, let's talk about pile number 2. Welcome. Ooh, all right. Your card is Sagittarius, the Archer. So Sagittarius is a beautiful energy. So Sagittarius is fire ruled, and Sagittarius's style of learning is very experiential, right? Sagittarius is that energy that you can't tell me anything, I must experience it for myself, right? The key word here is expand. Sagittarius energy is definitely very expansive, very first person experiential, and the way that Sagittarius expresses itself in the world can feel a little bit impulsive, but the key is that Sagittarius is always looking for hello. See, that's funny. Sagittarius is always looking for the way that that we relate to a larger concept, right? A larger abstraction, right? So the way that we relate to something philosophical, the way that we relate to something religious, the way that we relate to something more than we, right? So Sagittarius wants to put the I in the biggest sense, right? Where do I fit into this larger perspective, right? A Sagittarius loves to travel, but the key is that they love to travel so that they can go and immerse themselves in a culture and understand it, not just read about it, not just hear about it, not just talk to someone who lives there, but feel it for themselves. That's the key. So the first 3 cards we have are the 5 of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the 2 of Cups. So the 5 of Cups, I love the way this rolls through. The 5 of Cups is a card of focus, right? So in the 5 of Cups, we see that there are 3 spilled cups in the front, right, that are being focused on. Well, speaking of focus, we're not getting it, so there we go. So these 3 spilled cups represent sadness or loss or something like that, right? And then we have these 2 cups behind, which are just standing there unnoticed, because the focus is on what has been lost, what has gone to waste, what is no more, right? I can't get that back. That is gone from me, right? And so in that Sagittarius sense, this is reason to kind of spiral. The Knight of Wands is a beautiful Sagittarius energy, right? This is literally being driven by impulse, by curiosity, by spark, by fire, by whatever we're seeking, right? The journey is the journey is the journey for the Knight of Wands, just like for Sagittarius, right? It's that forward motion of the arrow. And then here we have represented this 2 of Cups, which is the very thing that we're not looking at. So, oh yeah, look at that. Wow, I want to do it. I'm going to do it. So if we have, where is your focus? Are you literally racing around, not witnessing what is being offered to you? And then we come up with 2 aces, right? An Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Cups. Ace of Pentacles is that earth energy. And the key to aces is that aces are things that the universe offers to you. And you are required to grasp them, to be grateful for them, and then to put them into action, right? It's not enough to say, oh, great, thanks. You can't put an ace in your pocket. They have to be played, right? You can't stand around and wonder, oh, gosh, what should I do with this? When you have it, you have it, right? So as we have this divine love, this divine offering, this divine way to feel a certain way, right? Instead of this way. Nobody wants to feel that way. We all want to feel this way, right? Well, it's there where are you ignoring it? Where are you perhaps spiraling, right? Sagittarius energy is always available for expansion, but sometimes it fails to look in the right direction, right? Sometimes Sagittarius energy is very ADHD feeling, and you know, if you're a neurotypical human, you might not understand that, but that simply means that sometimes it's hard to find the focus that is forward when you have so many other things, right, that are distracting you. Oh, that looks great. Oh, that sounds interesting. Oh, that feels wonderful, right? When it's easy to feel like you're fractioned, like you're fragmented, but there's always this solid offering being handed to you, right? So if this card of divinely offered emotional stability, right, contentment, satisfaction, it's yours. It's here for the taking. It's here for the taking. All the ways you wish to be resourced, all the ways you wish to be satisfied, fulfilled, contented are yours. How are you doing that, right? Is it a wonder that down here we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is the slowest moving knight in the deck, right? And yet he asks you, how are you moving? Are you moving surely? Do you have the endurance required? Can you blot out your distractions, right? He's all about sure movement. He's not a fast card. He's not speeding around on his horse. He's very definitely moving forward with these aces in his hand, right? In fact, he's carrying one pentacle, and perhaps in his heart, right? We can imagine that he's carrying this cup that's been offered here. So perhaps group number 2, your message for the next 10 days is to slow down, to reel yourself in, to choose where you are being distracted and where you want to immerse yourself, right? What's being offered to you that you might not be looking at? Where are you expending energy that is not in alignment with your actual destination, right? Sagittarius energy is all about finding the right place. And after Sagittarius finds that right place, the key is forward motion with that goal in mind. So I believe that your message, pile number 2, is to be mindful of your distractibility and to really choose your why, to choose your focus, to choose that thing that you're trying to complete, right? The place that you're trying to embody, or the lesson that you're trying to immerse yourself in, and really allow those 2 aces to be your driver as opposed to whatever squirrel energy you have going on. Yeah, so pile number 2, thank you. I think that is your message for the next 10 days. Yeah, I like it. And pile number 3, your card. Ooh, second house, resources, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So the second house is ruled by Taurus, and this is all about resources. And the key to resources is that resources can be tangible or intangible, right? In keeping with earth energy. So this is about value and worth. And worth. It's about what you have in your pocket, what you have in your soul. It's about what you have in your bank account and what you have in your heart, right? So the way that you are valued, or the way that you value yourself, is always critical when you're talking about the second house. This is all also about nurturing, right? It's the way that you nurture yourself. It's about self-care. And the way that you choose to, let's call it, be generous or conserving. right? So the where you are in relation to scarcity and abundance is also a big place in the second house energy. When it comes to resources, when it comes to your stability, your groundedness, your availability to those concepts, right? How you create it for yourself, how you create it in your life, and the way that you allow it to, let's say, be shared with others in your experience, right? So let's start here. We have the Six of Wands, we have Temperance, and we have the Hermit, right? Two majors, so let's pay attention to that. The Six of Wands is victory, right? This is achievement. This is what you have accomplished based on your heart, your soul, what really moves you, right? This is not, you know, so in life we have our job and our career, and then we have our mission and our purpose. So this card really is about the way you pursue and achieve things related to your purpose, right? Which is quite lovely. And then Temperance is a card that asks you to learn your lessons, right? It's how we balance those fiery things with the way that we actually move into the world. You know, think of tempering a blade for a sword, right? It's required that it be molten and shaped and then quenched, right? And so the way that we balance that hot and cold, the way that we balance that form and function, right, creates our sharpness, our keenness, the way that we're able to utilize ourselves, our resources. And the Hermit is really about how you find that light within yourself, right? How you recognize that not only are you the fire, but you're also the blade, and what is tempering that blade. Those are all you, right? So your journey is your journey, and your resources are always a compilation and a reflection of the you that you not only choose to be, but the space that you're holding, the beliefs that you're holding. And as second house is about resources, right? This is asking you, have you done the work necessary to really create your victories? Have you done the work necessary to really create that space of value and worth as yourself, so that you can create that space of value and worth for yourself? Here we have the Five of Cups, which is a card of focus, right? Are you keeping your eyes on the prize, or are you looking in the rearview mirror at what was, right? Are you witnessing your losses as failure, or are you witnessing your loss as opportunity, right? This Knight of Wands is really a beautiful invitation to take this amassed knowledge and experience and create it as wisdom. Move forward with that lesson in mind, with that process in mind, with the experience in mind, and not to be afraid to try again, right? It's one thing to fall into a belief that we're not good enough. It's another thing to let that belief ruin our opportunities, ruin our drive, ruin our will, right? And so if you witness yourself as both what is forging, what is being forged, and as the forge itself, there's really never a missed step. You know, all of those then are witnessed as victory, as resource, as something of value, because you yourself are that thing that is most valuable. Because the process, I mean, is for you. It doesn't run without you. Yeah, it's all you. And this card of perspective and focus really hones in on that and says, Where are you putting your attention? Are you putting your attention on what you witness as loss? Because, you know, loss is really simply the opportunity, or simply the lack of opportunity, or the lack of drive to try again. And if you find yourself witnessing a loss, or even something that does not work as a choice not to try again, that's the real loss, right? That's the real loss. Here we have the Five of Wands. Oh yeah, beautiful. That's a beautiful summation. So the Five of Wands is a card of posturing, right? This is a card that says, I have this brilliant idea, this brilliant heart, this brilliant motivation, right? I have this in my hand, and yet I'm just going to hold it here, and I'm going to like block my progress with it, right? There's no real conflict in Five of Wands. There's simply a lack of motion. It's just a choice to block yourself. It's about holding on to an idea past its prime, past its usefulness, simply because the idea was yours. And the quicker that you can remold or remelt that idea down, if it's not functional, if it's not really serving you, is really the way that you get to victory, right? So I think that your message, pile number 3, is to really be in evaluation of what's not working for you, right? Really get into that cost-benefit analysis of, this is what my energy expenditure is, this is what my energy return is, and to pull yourself out of stagnation, right? Stop looking back at the places where there's a lesson to be learned. Learn the lesson so that you can move forward, right? Get out of your own way and really witness yourself as being in motion. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I believe that is your message, pile number 3. All right, guys. So again, I hope that your messages resonated with you. And if they did not, feel free to just disregard, right? Not all messages are for everyone. And if you liked this video, let me know, because I kind of had fun and I would love to do more. So if there is an interest, we can expand on this theme, right? Other than that, be blessed and take care.